Hi, and welcome back to this new module called Upcycled Art for Education and Social Inclusion, called Sculptural Arts. In the past modules, you learned about how art-based activities can support learning and some of the barriers and challenges that can occur during these processes. You've been shown different visual arts and performance arts approaches to implement these activities. In the past modules, you learned about how art-based activities can support learning and some of the barriers and challenges that can occur during these processes. You've been shown different visual arts and performance arts approaches to implement these activities. In this module, we will focus on another art form, which is the sculptural arts. Sculptural arts covers a wide range of materials, techniques, and styles, but at its core, it is the art of shaping and manipulating materials into tangible, three-dimensional artworks. A lot of different materials can be used to create sculpture art pieces. You may think of clay, stone, wood, all types of metal, plastic, glass, plaster, and the list goes on. The techniques are also quite broad, such as carving, modeling, casting, welding, assembling, etc. Throughout history, sculpture has been used for religious, political, commemorative, and decorative purposes. In contemporary art, sculptors often push the boundaries of traditional forms and materials, experimenting with unconventional materials, mixed media, and conceptual ideas. Contemporary sculpture is diverse and can challenge viewers' perceptions and expectations. Sculptural arts provide a unique platform for artistic expression, as artists can convey a wide range of emotions, ideas, and narratives through their sculptures, making it a versatile and powerful medium for communication. Sculpture art-based activities can therefore be a powerful means of expressing emotions for several reasons. For the tactile experience, sculpting involves physically shaping and manipulating materials such as clay, stone, wood, or metal. This tactile experience can be therapeutic and provide a direct, hands-on way to release pent-up emotions. The act of kneading, carving, or molding can be cathartic and help individuals connect with their emotions. For the nonverbal communication, not everyone finds it easy to express their emotions verbally. Sculpture art provides a nonverbal medium to convey feelings and experiences. Through the creation of a sculpture, individuals can communicate their emotions without the need for words. For the symbolism and metaphor, sculptures can be rich in symbolism and metaphor. Artists can use their creations to represent complex emotions and experiences that might be challenging to express directly. The choice of materials, forms, and textures can all convey different emotional nuances. For the self-expression, creating a sculpture allows for a high degree of personal expression. Artists can draw upon their own experiences, memories, and emotions to inform their work. This process of self-expression can be both therapeutic and enlightening, helping individuals gain a deeper understanding of their feelings. For the empowerment and control, sculpting provides a sense of control over the creative process. When dealing with overwhelming emotions, having control over the materials and the form of the sculpture can be empowering. It allows individuals to externalize and manage their emotions in a constructive way. For the reflection and insight, after completing a sculpture, individuals can reflect on their work. This reflection can lead to insights into their emotions, allowing them to better understand and come to terms with what they are feeling. For the sense of community and connection, engaging in sculpture art-based activities in a group setting can foster a sense of community and connection. Sharing emotions through art with others can create a supportive environment for expression and healing. For the aspect of long-lasting expression, unlike spoken or even written words, sculptures can be a lasting form of expression through time. They can be revisited and serve as a reminder of one's emotional journey and growth. All these elements I just mentioned are significant of how impactful the sculptural arts can be for people and artists on a personal and emotional level. Before we dive into the practical activities you can implement to support the learning of young people through sculpture, it's important to take a look at the environmental approaches you can include to make your activities more sustainable and eco-friendly. First, choose sustainable materials, like reclaimed wood, recycled metals, or biodegradable materials. You can also look into natural and organic materials, such as clay, stone, and plant-based fibers. Encourage the reuse and the upcycling of materials and found objects in sculpture pieces. Make sure to save and repurpose leftover materials for future projects. Furthermore, on a more philosophical level, the act of repurposing and transforming these objects can also be seen as a symbol of emotional transformation and rebirth. Reducing waste is also a major effort to ensure environmentally friendly activities, such as efficient cutting and shaping techniques to maximize the use of materials. If you decide to use specific materials, make sure to properly dispose of any hazardous materials according to local regulations. By adopting these sustainable practices, sculpture artists can minimize their ecological footprint while creating art that reflects a commitment to environmental responsibility. Additionally, eco-friendly sculpture activities can serve as a source of inspiration and awareness for others on sustainable and responsible artistic practices. Now that we have a good understanding of the purpose of sculptural art as an approach to support learning processes, we can take a closer look at the practical activities you can implement. There are many different paths you can choose from. Some sculptors may use their works to tell stories or narratives. Sculptural pieces can capture moments in time, depict historical events, or convey allegorical tales through the arrangement of forms and figures. Some sculpture artists choose to design functional pieces of art, such as furniture, architectural elements, or public installations. Their objectives include combining artistic aesthetics with utility and practicality. Some sculptors prefer to pursue experimental and conceptual art, aiming to challenge conventional norms and push the boundaries of what sculpture can be. They may prioritize the exploration of ideas, materials, and concepts over traditional aesthetic considerations. There are also many sculptors who focus on the human figure as a subject. This objective can involve a study of anatomy, portraiture, or the representation of the human condition. The human figure can be a source of artistic expression and exploration of identity. The idea here is for your participants to be able to express themselves through touch, conception, and manipulation of a material 3D object, preferably using eco-friendly materials and upcycling methods. I will show you 3 simple activities you can set up to help young people grasp complex educational scientific concepts in a more creative and engaging way. You may change the activities to your own specific resources and objectives, and you can also discuss them with your own participants to adapt to their preferences by emphasizing on the variety of paths and materials you can choose from to express your creativity. The first activity is based on engineering and architecture. The objective is to design and construct a bridge using simple materials such as popsicle sticks, toothpicks, or spaghetti noodles. You can start by giving a quick introduction on the concept of architectural engineering and the basic principles of bridge construction to the participants, emphasizing concepts like load-bearing, stability, and balance. It's worth taking time before the actual construction to brainstorm the ideas with the young people and let them sketch their bridge designs on paper, considering factors such as span length, support structures, and load distribution. Provide the materials for their constructions, such as popsicle sticks or any plastic scraps that they can use to erect their structures, as well as scissors, glue, or tape they might require. You can guide and encourage your participants to apply their understanding of engineering principles to create stable and structurally sound designs and modify their designs as needed to improve the strength of their bridges. Once the bridges are complete, facilitate a testing session where participants can place lightweight objects on their bridges to assess their load-bearing capacity and structural integrity. After the activity, take some time with the participants to reflect on the challenges they encountered and the importance of some simple engineering principles when taking part in sculptural activities. Ultimately, they will get a better practical understanding of architectural engineering concepts while developing their problem-solving and critical thinking skills in a creative and interactive learning environment. The second activity you can implement with your participants is related to renewable energy and the field of sustainable development. Although it is a bit more technical than the previous one, it doesn't require any complex materials and can be performed with anything at your disposal. The idea is to create a simple wind turbine sculpture with basic materials. You'll need the following materials: thick paper or lightweight cardboard, pencil or marker, scissors, pushpin or thumbtack, paper straws, tape, lightweight paper cup, and optionally, a small electric fan or hairdryer for testing the wind turbine in the end. First step. Begin by drawing and cutting out the shape of the wind turbine blades from the thick paper or lightweight cardboard. The blades can be in any shape, such as rectangles or triangles, but make sure they are long and wide enough to catch the wind. Second step. Attach the wind turbine blades to the drinking straws using tape, ensuring that the blades are securely fastened and can rotate freely. Third step. Use the pushpin or thumbtack to create a hole in the center of the paper cup. Insert the bottom end of the straw into the hole, allowing the blades to extend above the cup. Fourth step, secure the straw in place using tape to ensure that the wind turbine structure remains stable. Fifth step, place the wind turbine sculpture in front of a small electric fan or use a hairdryer on a low setting to simulate wind. Observe how the wind causes the blades to rotate, demonstrating the concept of converting wind energy into rotational motion. Encourage students to experiment with different blade designs and materials to observe how these factors affect the efficiency of the turbine. This activity can be a good introduction session to discuss the importance of renewable energy sources like wind power and how such technologies can contribute to sustainable energy production. The participants will gain a basic understanding of the principles behind wind energy, fostering an appreciation for environmental sustainability. Another fun and simple sculpting activity that can be done in any setting, using any materials at your disposal, is the conception and construction of a 3D historical figure. You may decide to go with one character that all participants will have to reproduce, such as Albert Einstein or Leonardo da Vinci, or you can ask the participants themselves to choose an historical figure they find interesting or they relate to in some way. The strong aspect of this activity is the broadness of materials your participants can use. According to your means, you can provide clay or Play-Doh, wood carving exercises, or a sculpture made out of recycled papers or plastics. The participants can really channel their creative side through this fun activity. The first step of the activity is to distribute the material to each student, instructing them to mold and sculpt a three-dimensional representation of their chosen figure's head and face. Encourage students to pay attention to details such as specific hairstyles and facial features. You can provide sculpting tools if available, such as toothpicks or small shaping tools, to help students refine the details of their sculptures and add intricate features like wrinkles, facial expressions, and other distinguishing characteristics. Then, once the sculptures are complete, allow participants to present their creations to the class, discussing the contributions of their chosen figure to their specific field and the impact of their accomplishments or discoveries on the rest of the world. The aim of the activity is for participants to get a first-hand experience on 3D manipulation and creation of an artwork while learning about historical figures that shaped the world through the years. Keep in mind that these sculpture activities can be done individually, as it can be easier to express one vision, one perspective, and manipulate a single object at once. However, you can also decide to set up a group collaboration to promote further connection and empathy. Each person can contribute to different aspects of the sculpture, expressing their emotions collectively. You can facilitate the activity by assigning different roles or tasks to participants, such as building the base, creating the central structure, or adding decorative elements. It's a good way to encourage participants to work together, share ideas, and problem solve as they build the sculpture. At the end of the activity, you can decide, still according to your means, to make some form of exhibition or showcase to present the artworks to a wider audience. You can decide to let them organize it, which will inherently develop their critical thinking and decision-making skills. They will need, as a team, to make choices about which pieces to include, how to arrange them, and what message or theme the exhibition conveys. Art exhibitions display is a good way to develop self-confidence and also a sense of accomplishment and pride, which can motivate further learning and creative endeavors. Now that we have a few examples of the sculptural activities you can implement to promote art-based learning activities, it is important to take a look at the different ways to make them inclusive to the fullest of your capacities. The idea is to create an environment that caters to individuals with unique capabilities or disabilities, which requires thoughtful planning and a commitment to accessibility. Let's go through a few strategies that helps ensuring that the sculpture activities are inclusive to people of all abilities. Make sure to provide adaptive tools and materials suitable for various abilities, like sculpting tools with different grips, adaptive brushes, or clay with varying levels of softness. See that all participants, regardless of their abilities, receive clear and concise instructions. You can use multiple modes of communication, including verbal explanations, written instructions, and visual demonstrations. Try to explore sensory aspects of sculpture by incorporating textures, scents, or sounds into the activity, making it inclusive and engaging for participants with sensory impairments. For example, a sculpture that combines visual and tactile elements allows visually impaired individuals to engage with the artwork through touch. Remember that inclusivity is an ongoing process that may require adjustments and refinements based on the specific needs of participants. By prioritizing accessibility and taking steps to accommodate various abilities, you can create a welcoming and inclusive environment for all individuals to enjoy and participate in sculpture art activities. Sculptural approaches are a good medium for art-based activities as they use multiple senses to communicate complex messages and can be beneficial on multiple levels. It can first create an emotional impact on the participants. For example, a sculpture that incorporates texture, color, and form can create a sensory experience that resonates with viewers on an emotional level, making the message more impactful. Multi-sensory experiences also tend to be more memorable than purely visual ones. The broadness of methods and materials to choose from allows for innovative and unique ways to convey messages that might be difficult to achieve through a single sense. Working with multi-sensory materials often requires experimentation and innovation. Sculptors may need to develop new techniques and approaches, which can lead to personal growth and artistic development. Multisensory sculptures have the potential to transcend language barriers and communicate with people from different cultural backgrounds, and can therefore be universally understood and appreciated. As a whole, when done effectively, multisensory sculptures can create powerful and memorable artistic experiences that resonate with a wide range of audiences. And that's it for the Sculptural Arts module. I hope you enjoyed it and that you learned something new. Always remember that these are just examples in the approach to get you started. You can mix up all the activities and create your own. Be creative. Through different use of sculpting materials and techniques, you saw different ways to help young people express themselves and enhance their learning capabilities, as they will be carried over into other aspects of their lives. Indeed, these practical 3D sculpting activities are good to improve motor skills and fine artwork that can be valuable in a professional setting. They also have a strong impact in terms of confidence building and self-expression, with the emotional and creative aspects linked to the learning and the manipulation of the materials, not to mention the environmental scope impact developed through the activities and the creations of the sculpture pieces. In the next module, we will go through a new form of art-based activities to support young people in their learning processes, the writing approach. Thank you for your attention, and we'll see you soon.